Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Tarek El Gindi with the Mr. Olympia. We have here two of the great athletes of our sport. The IFBB Pro Olympian Wendy Fortino has joined us directly from San Diego. How are you, Wendy?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing good. Look at those shoulders, Chris. You've never had shoulders like this.
Oh, right.
Oh man, I'm still trying. I never had shoulders like that for sure.
Also with us, four-time Ironman champion. He is the 1993 Mr. USA's Chris Cormier, directly from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Chris, give us give us the information. You just got done watching the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. Who was the person that impressed you the most?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with three of those guys. And thank you for having me on the live, all the way from Pittsburgh. Thank you. Great to be here with you guys. But I gotta say, first you got to go. A funny thing here is they the way they do it here in Pittsburgh is when Jim May and have you come out, you're invited. It's not like you just you could just show up here and guest post. But the way it's very ironic the way they lead the guys out, and it's almost like how you're ranked, which is very different here. It's not like you just anybody can go out in any
Yeah, that
tournament.
Samson go out first. So,
No. so so they had the guys come out in order, and the last guy that showed up on stage, and that was Derek. And Derek looked better than he did last year. Lunsford he looked better than he did last year, I gotta say.
What
So
was better? Was he bigger? Was he more conditioned? Even though he's on his
yeah,
off season, what
but
impressed you the most?
yeah, I think it was more condition. I thought his back double bicep was improved
oh yeah,
and wider. His abs are nice and flat for his weight. The cuts in the quads were there better than last year, I think, and he looked more confident. Last year was like a deer in the headlights. He didn't know what to think, what people was thinking of him. It was all brand new, but it looked like he was more seasoned, and seemed like he's ready to take a step up in the right direction. I got to say, for a second, I got to go with the mutant. Uh, I mean, Nick Walker was huge, and his waistline was way better than last year. I thought back double bicep improved, most muscular in front, side chest. All this stuff was way improved from last year, and which means to me he's going to be a much improved competitor when he gets to that Olympia stage.
Wendy Fortino,
yeah.
looking at all those guys in the guest posing, who impressed you the most?
Well, I just want to say that the dreams were made. The new pro that got to go out on stage with the rest of those
That's
guys.
Mike Halusi.
Oh man, he
He
was
is.
in heaven.
I was gonna talk about him, but
Yeah, he was in heaven. But honestly, I was impressed by all the guys. Every one of them showed up in shape, which was pretty awesome. I thought Derek Lunsford impressed me the most. His back double bicep, like Chris said, was insane. I mean, they all turned to the back, and he was right under the lights, and it was just like bam, he was amazing. But I mean, Samson Dauda was impressive, but I got to give it up for Sean Clarita. I mean, he always shows up and shows out, and he gives every guy a run for his money. I thought it was cool that when they did the pose down, he was right in the middle next to Derek Lunsford under the lights, and he just has a pop to his muscle that is so impressive. But all the guys showed up in shape. Hunter Labrada probably has the best uh, symmetry, the best shape. He didn't quite have the size of the other guys, but his body is so pretty. It just has such a pretty flow to it. I'm interested to see what Hunter brings to the Olympia because his aesthetics are pretty impressive.
and, and
So,
I gotta say, Hunter was the only guy who hit an ab shot.
oh yeah,
The only guy
yeah.
who hit an abdominal ab and thigh shot. So you got to give it up for that. Uh, and yeah, Samson Dowda hit a nice vacuum. that I thought was pretty impressive at this weight.
Yeah.
And yeah, the front double, his most muscular is he's still lean. I'm sure he didn't compete that much longer long ago, but most muscular was very impressive also at Samson.
Yeah.
Now, there's a name that none of you guys have mentioned, which is surprising to me.
I know who you're gonna say.
Big Rami.
Yeah.
Chris,
Big Rami looked
you
better.
have not mentioned Big Rami. Am I assuming he didn't make an impact on you?
No, he did. He was a lot better than what I thought he might be. I could tell he's been training because a couple of years ago in the off season, he didn't put a whole lot of time into the training. He had a lot of stuff going on, but he was impressive too. All the guys are impressive. I mean,
yeah, they all
haven't gotten around, but they all hit the most muscular at the end. They all made their way around the crowd, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I felt like, like the Giant Killer, he came in and he was nice and thick. You could see him walking, man, and like they were saying, he's just as big as he is wide, and that stands true to this day, because I just felt like, I think all the guys are pretty impressive. I know I've posed for Jermaine at this show many times before, and it's not a very easy thing to do, to have some type of shape about you at this time.
Yeah, they took it seriously.
But yeah, you could tell that they all dropped some water or something like that coming into this show.
Yes. I was a little bummed. I thought Chris Bumstead would go out there with those guys. But...
I don't know about that one. Not when they went up there at absolute fullest. And Mike Lucy on the side there, he's going to be competing next week in the New York Pro, and Tony Doherty brought him out here, and he just kind of got the last minute. He got a chance to get up on stage with these guys, so that's so cool to see him get his feet wet with the IFBB Pro League.
God, they all look so good, man. It's crazy how they all came in. Not one of them was out of shape, which was, I mean, that was pretty impressive. It was a really awesome show. That was definitely a huge highlight. I know Jim Mannion really.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The mutant is a lot harder than last year. You could tell that he didn't want to come here nowhere like he did the last time. So Nick Walker brought that mask.
Guys, is it just me, or Nick Walker is basically calling Derek Lunsford? He knows that Derek is the guy.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He said he was the only one not really breaking a sweat yet. So he was like playing up to that. Like, these guys nobody makes me sweat. He said, but he gave them guys props on stage when he was talking, and but he is definitely very confident. He mentioned that he took 5th in his first Olympia, 3rd in his second Olympia, and looking to move up for the third Olympia, to even move up.
Now, on this back double biceps here, Chris, I mean, we have to look at Derek Lunsford here on this back double biceps with tremendous width and tremendous conditioning on an off season. That's already his best pose.
Yeah,
but
he improved for sure.
He's even better from the back, right? And that's a pose that possibly Simpson Dowd is going to have to run after him, because we can see the difference.
Because in Samson, he just competed, in the Arnold, so he should be the absolute leanest up there. But you can see how
Chris, who has the best back double bicep in this lineup, just posing wise?
I thought it was Derek, man. I thought it was Derek.
Yeah.
No, from my seat.
Looking at this, a lot of people talk about Simpson Dowd being aesthetically pleasing, but look, he's hitting a most muscular right next to Big Rami, and he looks huge. So it's a misconception to think that Simpson Dowd is just an aesthetically pleasing physique. He's also massive.
Yeah, you got a combination of both for sure.
I want to give credit here to my friend Nick Strength and Power. He has good quality video here for us. Go ahead and subscribe to Nick Strength and Power. thank you for the video.
Yes,
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, old Nicky boy.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
And there was a moment here where Nick Walker hits a front double biceps, and I have to say the waist looks smaller, Chris.
Yeah.
Let me see if I find this.
I told
But
you.
he's hitting a front double biceps, and the waist looks smaller.
Yes, he's tighter than before. Like I said,
Look,
I thought
look at this.
It's the best off season I've seen him.
Look
His
at this.
weight,
You see the
yeah,
legs?
he
You
got
can
his
see the
waist
legs are
tighter.
improving. You can see the lats are, are dropping down a little bit lower than they have been in the past. So you could definitely believe him when he comes out and very, he's telling everybody that he's here and he's going for that title, and he's definitely serious. You see him putting in his work all the time. So that's
Look
one
at
thing
Derek's
we
legs
always
there,
see.
though. Look at how much mass Derek has on his legs. I mean, I thought Nick had the biggest quads, but look at Derek. That's crazy.
Both of them look to be in incredible shape and gaining tremendous size. But I got to tell you, I know Derek is very impressive with his size, but I am overjoyed to look at Nick Walker and to see that his waist is smaller, Chris. That's making his V-taper a lot more pronounced, and even his quads are looking bigger. I'm going to speculate here that Nick Walker is doing something with his waist and it's working. Would you agree with that? Wendy, you know that you can actually reduce your waist, and it looks like he's doing something to make that waist look smaller.
Well, it's, with a lot of the men's physique guys, you see their waists are really small, but they don't have the size on their legs. I mean, a lot of the movements that you have to do to build legs, just they automatically recruit those obliques. It's really hard to build legs without getting a thick waist. So my hats go off to these guys to build the mass on the legs and keep the waist down. So Nick must really be just like cinching his belt in like crazy to deactivate his obliques. I mean, he's putting some sacrifice with some of some of those things that people don't realize. It's not just about training hard. It's about being able to take a little bit of extra pain and suffering with regards to, harnessing your waist, keeping those muscles from activating. It takes so much discipline to not just build the legs, but to figure out how to atrophy the obliques and the waist, those functional muscles that are required to build legs. So that's part of it. And I mean, I think, like I said, my hats go off to these guys for being able to get their waist down, build the legs, do all the things necessary to get that aesthetic just right. So it's a hard thing to do, and they're doing it.
Chris, did you notice, you were there, you were close, did you notice a dramatic difference on Nick Walker's waist? From the video, it looks like it's an incredible change from the Arnold Classic.
Yes, I did notice a difference. And, this is the front shot where he's playing close attention to his waist and all his attributes, and he's flaring the lats. But I also paid close attention when he turned around to the back, when he walked from side to side. I was also looking at, and I could tell there was a dramatic difference in the waistline as opposed to last year is what I was judging it from. Not from the competition, but actually last year on this very stage. So, yes, I could tell these people in the video right now, you see, Labrada and all, like I say, Labrada's hitting the ab shot. He's been on his game, and Samson and Nick and all these guys. I could tell they took this guest posing very serious. I could tell they probably did something with their sodium and their water loads, because I know they wanted to look as best they could at this time. And I think everyone was in for. Everyone came with that in their mind, is to look as best they can at this time in their preparation.
And I mean, going back to a front double biceps, right here in the corner, Derek Lunsford on a front double biceps.
Incredible.
That is impressive.
Man,
yeah, he hit that shot with he did the crucifixion shot with his arm out to the side to start, and everybody just, I think everyone applauded for him the most. So Derek had the biggest wow in the crowd. I could say that from being in the crowd.
Now,
Yeah.
Chris, you were there. You're telling me that the audience response was very positive and it was stronger for Derek Lunsford.
Yes.
Looking at these competitors, you've been guest posing in Pittsburgh. You've been to the Mr. Olympia many times. If you were to pick one competitor that was
Yeah.
confident, that felt like he was going to be the next Mr. Olympia, who would that be?
I mean, I got, as far as I could tell that from their confidence, I think it's got to be a tie between Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford, because they both had it. Nick was like more like the pit bull of it. Derek was like the nice guy of it, but they still, I bet they still think that they both can win it. I think Nick wholeheartedly feels that he's going to win that Olympia.
Now, Wendy, did you feel that Nick Walker, Derek Lunsford, this is not their first time doing this guest posing? Did you feel that Samson Dauda was maybe, symbolically pushed to the side right after winning the Arnold, that Derek and Nick say, hey, we're going to send a message? You see that both of them are right there in the middle. Maybe they position themselves in the middle. Is that correct, Chris?
Yes, they did.
I think, well, Samson did do a challenge with Derek at first when they started the pose down. Samson first shot, and then he moved himself to the outside on the other side and said, you guys take it over. I did my pose down. I proved myself. Now I'm going to go off to the side. So he kind of shuttled himself to the other side and let those guys get at it. So I think Samson Dauda, he's somebody that we're all looking at going into the Olympia. I mean, you said yourself, he's got the size, but he also has that aesthetics that is really hard to battle with. God, this is going to be an exciting year because every one of these guys is so impressive. My eyes keep going to Sean Clarita too. I mean, his ability to battle it out with those guys and he's the same height. Oh, hey, Isabel, what's up?
Hey, Isabel.
I can't.
Isabel Terrell, fit rock star, straight out of Pittsburgh, coming to join us. Isabel, let's put you on the spot right now. Who won this guest posing?
Well, you probably can't hear me and probably see me.
We can.
Okay,
Who won?
Question?
Who won the guest posing, in your opinion? Who was the most confident?
Lunsford. Derek Lunsford.
You think he was the best athlete? He was the one that impressed the most?
100% Derek Lunsford. 100%.
Do you think there's a distance between them and some of the other competitors?
Between Derek and the other competitors?
Yeah, he's clearly the most impressive one.
So what I saw, because I'm obviously right here, that Derek had the best condition. I mean, listen, this guy looked like he's a few weeks out from the Olympia. I mean, Samson Dauda looked phenomenal. Yeah. Nick Walker also looked really good, in my opinion. But I feel that the winner tonight is Derek Lunsford.
Yeah.
That's just my take.
Yeah, I told him the crowd went nuts for
I can't even see.
We're on the same page, Isabel.
Sorry.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus, that Derek Lunsford was the one that impressed the most on this guest posing. Now, Isabel Terrell, Chris was there and he's talking a lot about Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford. He's not mentioning Samson Dauda as much as some of those guys. What did you think of Samson Dauda?
I think Samson looked phenomenal. I mean, I don't know. I want to say, he's 330 pounds. He looked really good on stage. But again, if this was show day, then Derek Lunsford will be winning all day. My opinion. Again, this guy looked just, he was the best. When Derek came out, everybody went crazy for Derek. Nuts. And then,
now, Isabel Terrell, you have not mentioned one name. You have not mentioned one name. Talk to me about Big Ramy.
I mean, I think Big Ramy looked good, but Big Ramy looked like off season to me. So, you know, I mean, he looked good. I wasn't wow, but again, it's Big Ramy, right? He put on a good show. He did what he had to do. Hunter, I will say Hunter looked pretty impressive. But again, you know, I mean, he's a great guy. I hope that he, you know, I think he'll be in the top 7 this year. But again, I'm not mentioning the other. No, I will tell you the other guy that did impress me was Sean Clarita. I love Sean Clarita's physique. I think he always looks good. But again, my eyes kept on going to Derek Lunsford. I was so impressed with this kid because, again, he's in great condition compared to everybody else. Nick Walker is second to that. Nick looked great. His confidence level, you know, of course, he's up there saying, I'm going to be the next Mr. Olympia. We want that guy, you know, and I hope it is a battle between Nick and Derek, in my opinion.
Oh, it's going to be for sure.
Well, I want to congratulate all the competitors, not only the pros. I also want to mention congratulations to Amy Lynn Delgado. She wins the bikini. And on the men's physique, Corey Morris wins the men's physique.
No waistline, Corey.
Yeah,
Corey Morris, small waist. Amy Lynn Delgado, she's winning a lot of shows.
Amy Delgado looked phenomenal. Amy was on fire.
Oh yeah. She had that bright red suit, that fire red suit, and the lipstick to match.
Everything just popped. It was, you know, it was a tight competition with Ashley Kaltwasser, but honestly, my eyes kept on going to Amy. Just everything just pops and just wow.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it was just a suit and a lipstick, but she was definitely the most beautiful athlete up there.
Chris was probably looking at her booty more than anything, though. I got to be honest.
She's Latina.
Winning.
When someone nails like the whole look like that, I mean, she nailed with her hair and her makeup and her suit. That's how fads get started. Right now, we're seeing a red suit trend because she nailed it so well that, you know, that's how those things go. You know, people go, God, that's the look. And now we're probably going to see more of that look. And it was between her and Ashley, it was like the two red hots, you know, the two red hot suits with the dark hair. It was like a kind of just a red battle, you know?
And, you know, out of the competitors, we had blue and red was mostly the most of the chicks. And I agree with you, Wendy. I love red. It's such a powerful color for stage. It really draws the attention to the physique.
I used to always use red trunks at the night show. Always.
With sparkles?
Not with the sparkle. Not with the sparkle, but I always picked red for the night show, and I had yellow or blue for the prejudging. But red was my. That's awesome. That's what I'm trying to make a statement.
I'm glad you didn't just go with plain black. I like it when guys do get a little bit out of the, you know, basic color.
Yeah. Being a dark competitor, I want to have something that's going to pop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chris, we would love to see you again in red panties, you know, as some of the fans are calling here. I want to thank my co-hosts.
Speak Wendy, for yourself.
You don't want to see him. I relate with you, Wendy. I want to thank my co-hosts, Wendy Fortino and Chris Cormier. I want to thank Nick Strength and Power. We're sharing his video. Go ahead and subscribe. Thank you, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mr. Olympia is coming the first week of November, and some competitors send a message. Who will be the next Mr. Olympia? My name is Tarek Elgindi with the superstars, Wendy Fortino and Chris Cormier. We'll see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen,